Chapter 1. The Fall of Mutant Candy and the Multiverse Incursion. The dust of Xavier's school. Close-up pan across a tarnished, rusted brass plaque reading Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Dust and ember particles drift across the screen in low, cold blue lighting. Right out of the gate, Marvel hits us in the chest with nostalgia and dread. We start on a cold, lingering shot of the classic brass plaque for Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Notice the wear and tear. This isn't the bright, hopeful X-Mansion from the Fox universe. The plaque is scorched and abandoned, setting the tone immediately. The multiverse is crumbling, and the X-Men's timeline is under active siege. Professor X's warning. Visual interior shot of the X-Mansion. Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier sitting in his iconic hoverchair, silhouetted against a stained glass window. Outside, the sky glows with fiery red and orange apocalyptic light. Eerie synth drone building. Xavier voice. Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Cut to inside the mansion, where Sir Patrick Stewart returns as Professor Charles Xavier. He's looking out at an sky turning blood red, a hallmark visual sign of a multiversal incursion where two Earths are colliding. Xavier's voiceover delivers a dire warning that the heroes are facing an unstoppable force. Enter Victor Von Doom. A shadowy, hooded figure kneels amidst fiery rubble. As the camera tilts up, metallic armor glints under a dark green cloak. A bright flash of cosmic light reflects off his steel visor. Metallic clanking, loud thunderclap transition. Doom voice. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision. We get our first look at Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. Notice his posture, kneeling, calm, almost ritualistic amidst the destruction. He isn't fleeing the incursion, he is orchestrating it. The green hood and silver gauntlets pay direct tribute to the Secret Wars comic run. Marvel Studios logo and the new Avengers Tower visual, high-energy gold to red. Marvel Studios logo flip, transitioning smoothly into a sweeping aerial shot of Manhattan. Easter egg note. The central skyscraper is the former Stark Avengers Tower, now retrofitted with glowing green accents and a sleek multiversal emblem. After the title card splash, we sweep over New York City. Take a close look at Avengers Tower. It's been completely remodeled. This confirms that the Prime Earth 616 timeline is already pooling multiversal tech to monitor dimensional rifts. Chapter 2. The War Room and the Multiverse Alliances. Fantastic Four meets the Avengers and Thunderbolts. Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss Bachrach, the Thing, step out of a retro-futuristic craft. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, and Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, stand in a lit hangar to greet them. A massive assembly shot in a high-tech command center showing heroes from multiple factions gathered around a holographic war table. Thor voice. Trailer audio. I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together. And they died. The Fantastic Four arrive in their 1960s retro-futuristic suits, stepping off their vessel to meet Sam Wilson's Captain America, Bucky, and Scott Lang. We see the largest team assembly since Endgame. You can spot Wakandans, Asgardians, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four all in one room strategizing against Doom. Clashing worlds and multiversal battles. Tenoch Huerta as Namor sitting broodingly on his underwater throne. Letitia Wright, Shuri, and Winston Duke, M'Baku preparing Wakanda's defenses. A sudden explosion inside a grand mansion interior. Rapid-fire combat snippets. Cyclops firing an optic blast through a dusty hallway. Channing Tatum as Gambit throwing glowing purple kinetic cards against Simu Liu's Shang-Chi holding the 10 rings. Mystique shifting forms mid-combat while dueling Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova. Fast drum build-up, kinetic energy blasts, metal clashing. Namor, Shuri, and M'Baku. But peace doesn't last long, because at universe versus universe combat breaks out. Check out these insane matchups. Channing Tatum's Gambit charging cards against Shang-Chi's 10 rings, and Mystique shape-shifting right in front of Yelena Belova. Before the heroes can fight Doom, they are fighting each other for their universe's survival. Chapter 3. Old Alliances and the Power of Doom. Loki's Vigil and the X-Men reunion. Tom Hiddleston as Loki in his God of Stories TVA attire staring out a window. Ben Grimm, the Thing, shaking hands with M'Baku on a desert shore, backed by a frozen, colossal tsunami wall. Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier clasping hands with Ian McKellen's Eric Lenscher, Magneto, in front of a stained glass window. Xavier voice. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. Tom Hiddleston's Loki makes a brief appearance, showing that the God of Stories is watching the branches fall. Then we get an amazing moment of solidarity between the Thing and M'Baku on a beach backed by a frozen ocean wave. But the emotional peak of the trailer hits at Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen joining hands one last time as Xavier and Magneto. It's a tear-jerker for longtime Marvel fans. Thor vs. Doctor Doom rapid montage showing Scott Lang hugging Hope, Johnny and Sue Storm powering up, James Marsden's Cyclops unleashing an optic beam, and Namor diving into battle. Thor leaps into a stormy wasteland, winding up Stormbreaker with blinding blue lightning. He hurls Stormbreaker directly at Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom raises one armored left hand and catches Stormbreaker midair, effortlessly arresting its momentum as green and blue lightning disperse around his metal gauntlet. Camera zooms into Doom's metallic face mask, revealing cold, glowing eyes beneath his hood. Thunderous boom, energy crackle, absolute sudden silence. Out comes the most terrifying display of power in the trailer. Thor summons a massive lightning strike and throws Stormbreaker with everything he's got. Doctor Doom doesn't even move out of the way. He raises one hand and stops Stormbreaker dead in its tracks, catching it by the head and absorbing the divine lightning. Thor's reaction, it says it all: complete disbelief and fear. Chapter 4. The Miracle and the Return of Captain America. Seeking a miracle visual. The screen goes dark. Thor voice asterisk, we're going to need a miracle. Heavy breathing, faint metallic clinking sound ringing in the quiet. A hand wearing a black jacket sleeve reaches into the frame and effortlessly catches Mjolnir by the leather strap as it flies into his palm. The screen goes black, and Thor admits they need a miracle. Then, we hear the iconic metallic chime of Mjolnir. A hand reaches out and catches the hammer effortlessly. The big reveal: Chris Evans returns. Thor turns around inside a ship deck, eyes wide. Hey pal. It's not possible. Camera swings around to show Chris Evans with a beard and jacket, holding Mjolnir with a calm, confident smirk. He looks directly at Thor and speaks. Steve Rogers trailer audio. Hey pal. Full swell of the classic Avengers theme music mixed with Captain America's motif. Boom. Chris Evans is back. At Steve Rogers smiles, holding Mjolnir once again. Whether this is a variant from another universe, Old Man Steve recruited from the timeline, or a Cap pulled from the past before his retirement, Captain America has returned to lead the ultimate multiversal stand against Victor Von Doom. Title card and release date countdown asterisk. Massive metallic title card slams down. Avengers, Doomsday in glowing green multi-layered text. Subtitle reads, see it in Infinity Vision asterisk. Date text appears. Asterisk 12.18.26 is Doomsday. Digital ticking countdown timer counting down months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Ticking clock mechanism fading into a deep crescendo, followed by total silence. The trailer concludes with the green-tinged logo for Avengers, Doomsday, setting the release date for December 18, 2026, accompanied by a real-time countdown clock ticking away the remaining months and days until Doomsday hits theaters.